Welcome to the channel, folks. Today, we're stepping into the octagon, and trust me, things are about to get wild. We're talking about UFC fighter salaries, the real moneymakers, the ones barely scraping by, and everything in between. You know the UFC is a billion-dollar business, right? But how much of that cash actually ends up in the fighters' pockets? That's what we're here to find out. Get ready for some serious eye-openers because some of these numbers will blow your mind. Let's kick things off with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Conor McGregor. This guy's a walking money printing machine. We're talking tens of millions of dollars per fight. Think about that for a second. Millions, just to step into that octagon. And it's not just the fight purse either. Conor's got his hands in everything, whiskey, clothing lines, you name it. He's a master of self-promotion and it's paid off big time. But here's the thing about Conor, he's earned every penny. The guy's a phenomenal fighter, a true showman. He draws in the crowds like no one else and the UFC knows it. He's broken pay-per-view records left and right. Love him or hate him, you can't deny his impact. Conor's success has changed the game for everyone in the UFC. He's shown fighters what's possible if you can build your brand and capture the public's attention. He's set the bar high, that's for sure. But hey, that's what makes this sport so damn exciting. Now let's talk about Francis Ngannou, the man who has taken the UFC by storm. This dude is a beast, a knockout artist with power that could knock down a building. His punches are like freight trains and opponents often don't stand a chance. Seriously, have you seen this guy's highlight reel? It's insane. Every fight is a showcase of raw power and skill, leaving fans and fighters alike in awe. But here's the kicker. Ngannou's been vocal about his dissatisfaction with fighter pay in the UFC. Despite his success, he feels underappreciated and underpaid. He's talked about how he's had to fight his way up from nothing, struggling financially even while becoming a champion. His journey is a testament to his resilience and determination. And that's the crazy part. Despite all his achievements, the financial rewards haven't matched his efforts. This is the heavyweight champion of the world, one of the most exciting fighters on the planet, and he's not even close to being one of the highest paid guys in the UFC. It's mind-boggling. It just goes to show you there's something not quite right with the system. The disparity in pay is glaring and raises many questions. Ngannou's situation has sparked a lot of debate about fighter compensation. It's a hot topic that has everyone talking. Some people say he's not worth more because he doesn't have the same drawing power as a Conor McGregor. They argue that star power dictates pay, but others argue that the UFC is undervaluing its fighters, especially someone with Ngannou's talent and star potential. They believe he deserves more recognition and compensation. It's a complex issue and there's no easy answer. The debate continues with strong opinions on both sides. But one thing's for sure, Ngannou's story has put a spotlight on the financial realities of being a UFC fighter. His journey has opened many eyes to the challenges fighters face outside the octagon. Now let's shift gears and talk about a rising star, Khamzat Chimaev. This guy is a force of nature. His intensity and drive are unmatched, and he trains like a man possessed. He burst onto the scene like a bat out of hell, racking up wins and finishing opponents left and right. His rapid rise has been nothing short of spectacular. He's got that aura about him, you know, that unshakable confidence that makes you believe he's destined for greatness, that I'm here to take over mentality. It's not just talk, he backs it up with his performances in the octagon. And the fans love it. They feed off his energy and passion, creating an electric atmosphere every time he fights. But here's the thing, Chimaev's still relatively early in his UFC career. He's shown incredible promise, but there's still a long road ahead. He's on his way to the top, no doubt, but he's not quite at the level of a Conor McGregor or a Francis Ngannou in terms of pay, yet. His potential earnings are still growing, but that's the beauty of it, right? The potential is there, the sky's the limit for Chimaev if he continues on this path. He's got all the tools, the skills, the charisma, the work ethic. His dedication to the sport is evident in every move he makes. And as he continues to win and climb the ranks, you can bet your bottom dollar that his paycheck is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. The rewards will follow his success. It'll be interesting to see how his career unfolds and how his earnings reflect his rise to the top. The journey is just as exciting as the destination. He's definitely one to watch, both inside the octagon and in terms of his earning potential. Keep an eye on Khamzat Chimaev, the hungry wolf on the rise. Let's talk about a true UFC legend, Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone. Known for his fearless approach and relentless fighting style, Cerrone has become a household name in the world of mixed martial arts. This guy is the definition of a fighter. His dedication to the sport is unmatched, and his work ethic is something to be admired. He's been in there with the best of the best, always putting on a show. Whether he's winning or losing, Cerrone's fights are always thrilling and full of action. He holds the record for most fights and most wins in the UFC. This is a testament to his longevity and skill in the octagon. Think about that for a second. The man is a warrior. His resilience and determination have earned him a place in the history books. But here's the thing, Cerrone's career earnings tell a different story. Despite his success, the financial rewards haven't always matched his efforts. He's made good money, don't get me wrong, but he's also been vocal about the need for better fighter pay in the UFC. This is an issue that affects many fighters, not just Cerrone. He's talked about how he's had to fight injured, pushing through pain and adversity to keep his career going. How he's felt pressured to take fights just to make ends meet. This is a harsh reality for many fighters who are not at the top, and that's the reality for a lot of fighters, especially those who aren't at the very top of the food chain. They face immense pressure and financial instability. Cerrone's story is a reminder that even the most popular and successful fighters can struggle financially. It's a tough sport with many challenges. It's a tough sport, and the risks are high. Fighters put their bodies on the line every time they step into the octagon. Cerrone's legacy goes beyond his fight record. His impact on the sport and his advocacy for fighter rights are equally important. He's a fan favorite, a true ambassador for the sport, and a voice for fighter rights. His contributions will be remembered for years to come. Now let's talk about the baddest woman on the planet, Amanda Nunes. This woman is a phenomenon. She's held titles in 2 weight classes simultaneously, and she's beaten some of the biggest names in women's MMA. But here's the thing, even as the most dominant female fighter in UFC history, Amanda's earnings still pale in comparison to some of her male counterparts. And that's a problem. The gender pay gap is a real issue in sports, and the UFC is no exception. Amanda has been vocal about the need for equal pay, and she's leading the charge for women in the UFC. She's a role model, an inspiration, and a true game changer. And as she continues to dominate the sport, you can bet that she'll keep fighting for what she deserves, both inside the octagon and in terms of her earnings. The UFC needs to step up and close the pay gap. It's time for women in MMA to get the recognition and compensation they deserve. That's it for today, folks. We've seen the highs and lows of UFC fighter salaries, from the multi-million-dollar paydays to the struggles of making ends meet. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure. These athletes put their bodies and minds on the line every time they step into the octagon, and they deserve to be compensated fairly. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and